Ready, start. We have also examined sections 61, 72, and 142 of the Customs Act to consider the question of whether the Customs Act confers and creates statutory first charge on the customs dues and are of the opinion that the sections do not incorporate a statutory first charge to override the general law as per the dictum in Dena Bank. Full stop. The provisions of the Land Revenue Enactment applicable in the present case have not been relied upon by the respondents, in which event a legal issue relating to conflict of laws would have arisen and required an answer. Full stop. The provisions in the Customs Act do not in any manner negate or override the statutory preference in terms of section 529A of the Companies Act, which treats the secured creditors and the workman's dues as overriding preferential creditors, and the government dues limited to debts due and payable in the 12 months next before the relevant date, which are to be treated as preferential payments under section 530 of the Companies Act but are ranked below overriding preferential payments and have to be paid after the payment has been made in terms of section 529 and 529A of the Companies Act. Full stop. Therefore, the prior secured creditors are entitled to enforce their charge notwithstanding the government dues payable under the Customs Act. Full stop. Para. The view and the ratio we have expressed is in consonance with the decision of this court in Punjab National Bank versus Union of India and others. Full stop. A similar view has also been expressed by a 3 judges bench of this court in Sundras Bhatt, liquidator of ABG Shipyard versus Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, with references to the provisions of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 and the Customs Act. Full stop. In this context, the 3 judges bench in Sundres Bhatt, liquidator of ABG Shipyard, has referred to section 238 of the IBC to observe that section 238 of the IBC clearly overrides any provision of law which is inconsistent with the IBC. Full stop. This judgment has also made reference to section 142A of the Customs Act, which reads to make recovery consistent to the other laws enforceable under the nation's acts enforceable as such in the country. Full stop. Para. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in any central act or state act, any amount of duty, penalty, interest, or any other sum payable by an assessee or any other person under this act shall save as otherwise provided in section 529A of the Companies Act 1956, the recovery of debts due to banks, and the Financial Institutions Act 1993, the securitization and reconstruction of financial assets, and the Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002, and the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 be the first charge on the property of the assessee or the person as the case may be. Full stop. Section 142A of the Customs Act was inserted by Act 8 of 2011 with effect from 8th April 2011 full stop. It does not apply to the present litigation full stop. Section 142A of the Customs Act protects and ensures that the dues under the Customs Act do not in any way affect the rights of third parties under Section 529A of the Companies Act or rights of the parties as per provisions of the Recovery of Debts Due to Banks and the Financial Institutions Act 1993, the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets, and the Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002 and the IBC full stop. Read in this manner, it is clear to us that the provision of Section 142A of the Customs Act, in so far as it protects the rights of overriding preferential creditors governed and covered by Section 529A of the Companies Act, is clarificatory and declaratory in nature and does not lay down a new dictum or confer any new right as far as the present case is concerned full stop. Para. However, the enactment of Section 142A of the Customs Act does confer or create a first charge on the dues payable under the Customs Act, notwithstanding provisions under any central act, but not in cases covered under Section 529A of the Companies Act and the IBC full stop. Section 142A of the Customs Act post its enactment would dilute the impact of Section 530 of the Companies Act, which had restricted preferential treatment to government taxes due and payable limited to 12 months prior to the relevant date without preferential right for taxes that had become due and payable in the earlier period full stop. In view of our reasoning, we must hold that the decision of the division bench of the Calcutta High Court in Diatron India Limited does not lay down the correct law full stop overall.